So I know a lot of y'all are probably thinking, oh wow, you smoke a lot of pot. Okay, I know this is more than just like getting high with your friends or passing around a blunt at a party. I'm going over medical marijuana and the health benefits of it. So, does this not work?
Shit, I put a new battery in it yesterday.
Were they new?
Okay.
Brand new.
I believe you.
Okay, so did you know that in 2015, more than 11 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 25 participated in some form of marijuana in that year? We looked it up, and there's about 23 million young adults between those ages, so almost half of the young adults in America had some form of marijuana. And Bernie Sanders said in that year that he is in favor of removing marijuana from a list of dangerous drugs controlled by the federal government, a move that would effectively allow states to legalize the drug without interference from Washington, D.C. So in this, he's not just talking about like the bud or anything and like just having weed in general. He's talking about medical marijuana. Because right now it's included like all as one form as a substance 1 drug, which is up there with methamphetamines and like coke and all those really hardcore drugs that have completely negative effects on your body, when medical marijuana actually has a lot of positive effects. So there are over 200 street names for marijuana. A lot of times you'll hear it referred to as like weed or chronic or Mary Jane or skunk if it's really bad. So there's a lot of different names for it. So just an FYI, if you hear one or the other, it's all the same. Okay, so I have 3 different points. I'm going to go over the different forms of marijuana, the effects on the body, and the legalization and where it's at now. So to start off, I'm going to read a quote. Eric Altieri, an executive director at the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, stated that it's really an anomaly in the history of presidential politics in this country to have almost all the major Democratic candidates coming out for legalization. So another thing is why it's really important to be aware of what marijuana is and how it affects the body, because it's a huge topic in politics, and we don't want just the big men up there to make the decisions for us. We want to be aware of what our laws are and how it affects us. Okay, I have a short video. Figure out how to put it.
Medical marijuana is in the news as more and more states legalize it. But what is it used for? Studies show that marijuana may help several conditions. It's most commonly prescribed for chemotherapy side effects like nausea, vomiting, or weight loss, muscle spasms, and stiffness caused by multiple sclerosis, various pain syndromes, and seizures. It can be taken several ways: inhaled, either through smoke or vapor, as an edible, like in a cookie or an herbal tea, or as a liquid under the tongue. But marijuana is not without side effects. It can cause dizziness, confusion, and drowsiness. It can worsen some mental illnesses like depression. And like cigarettes, when smoked, it can hurt your lungs. So if you live in a legal state, talk to your doctor. Like any treatment, you can weigh the benefits and risks to determine if medical marijuana is right for you.
Okay, so now I'm going to go over the different forms. There are 8 different forms that marijuana can be taken. So first you'll have your traditional leaves, which is a bud. So this is after it's been dried and pulled off of the plant that's grown on. There's a lot of these on one single plant, so it's not like you just grow one single bud. And this is not to scale. This is a very large picture. But this is your traditional leaves. These are your powdered leaves. It's the exact same thing as a bud. It's just grinded up. So it's smaller forms so it's easier for people to take, and so you can actually like put it into small doses. Okay. Then so those are like what you'll use for medical marijuana, and then there are also several bad forms of marijuana that should not be legalized. These are forms that are more typically used as gateway drugs into like the harder methamphetamines and coke. So one of those would be hashish. It's the THC like completely and the oil completely combined and like stuffed together into a package, and you'll break the bar up, and then like put it like you'll light it up. It's really gross. Then other parts or other forms are shatter, which is the oil that's just dried out and then broken up, and then you melt it, and then the other kind is a wax. The same thing, you'll melt it instead of smoking it. Okay. And then other like things that you can do, you can make tea or juice with it by the stems of the bud, and those have a lot of health benefits too. So the effects on the body, positive ways it can affect your body, is it can decrease depression symptoms and anxiety. It is mainly used with scientific studies for muscle relaxation. It's also been proven that smoking marijuana or inhaling marijuana has helped with Parkinson's disease to help them from having so many tremors. It also helps lower pressure built up in the eyes.
1 minute.
It reduces nausea and vomiting and pain relief. Legalization. So it's already fully legal in 11 states: Alaska, California, Colorado, District of Columbia, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. And then there are 28 other states who have mixed legalization with it. So these are the states that have legalized either CBD or they've legalized medical marijuana. And the ones with the little stars next to them are the ones that have reduced criminalization on them. Okay. According to an ACLP report, marijuana arrests account for over half of the drug arrests in the United States, which is kind of crazy because, I mean, that's a lot of people are arrested each year, and for just over half of them to be drug-related crimes, that's something we should work on. So what we can do now? We can definitely fight to educate other people about how marijuana is, it can have positive effects on your body, and it's not just some negative thing that you hear about, you know, from videos or from your teachers, or, you know, that it's not just getting high and stoned or like going and do bad stuff. You can use it in a positive way. We can push for more scientific studies to see how it truly affects the bodies, because since it's illegal, a lot of scientists have hard times with growing it because of, you know, it's illegal, and so they don't get to have those studies done on the body to see like its full effects. Another thing is we can vote for legalization for medical marijuana in all 50 states. Like I said, there's only 28 states that are mixed, and then there's 39 states of the 51 that have it legalized. We need to push for all 50. So, in conclusion, I hope that you all learned a lot more about marijuana and its positive effects instead of just the negative effects. And yeah, thank you.